Welcome to my adult coloring channel, Colorful Tamiko. I am Tamiko. This tutorial is going to be part of a How I Color a Flower series. I know that a lot of beginner colorists don't know where to start or how to go about coloring flowers. I wanted to help you guys by doing a series of a few short videos with me coloring a flower and giving you guys ideas on how to go about tackling coloring a flower in a coloring book. These tutorials will be quick and short, but also informative. Remember, if you like these type of tutorials, give it a thumbs up so that I know what kind of videos to bring to you guys in the future. If you want to see more adult coloring tutorials like this, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribing really helps in supporting my channel and getting it in front of as many adult coloring YouTubers as possible. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload more adult coloring videos. Now let's have some fun and get into this tutorial. So I'm going to be coloring a flower in this book from The World of Flowers by Johanna Basper. And I'm just going to jump right on into this tutorial. So I'm going to go to the page that we'll be coloring. And we're going to be coloring this page. Last time I colored this flower, so this video will be coloring this flower right here. Let me zoom in so you can see much clearer. Great, now we're zoomed in a little bit more. And I'm going to tell you what pencils I'm using. I'm using my Arteza pencils, the 120 set. And the first color I'm going to use is the Arteza Burgundy A412. And I'm going to zoom in just a little more just so you guys can see a little more. There. Hopefully that's good enough. And so you want to start down here at the bottom of the flower. And I'm just going to lay some dark burgundy down right around this little circle part. And I'm going to take it out. I'm going to go in with hard pressure, then I'm going to take it out and let up on the pressure because I'm going to introduce another color. But I'm going to do that all the way around this circle part that's in the middle of the flower. And the reason I chose this flower is because when you first look at this flower, you think, how should I color that flower? It looks difficult, you know. And I just wanted to show you guys a simple way to be able to color this type of flower. So I'm going to go hard pressure, and I let up on the pressure as I go out, basically. And I'm going to have to turn my books on just so I can see what I'm doing. So I hope that doesn't bother you guys, but I'm going to go out. And now I'm letting up on the pressure some. And so I want this part, this center part right here in the burgundy part to be kind of dark. So I'm going to go over it again just so I can get a little bit of darkness to it and give it another layer. And I'm just going around that circle part. And now right here around the edge where you see I have let up on the pressure and I went in kind of soft around the edge. If you have to, you can lift your pencil and go soft around the edge. But this is very light pressure. Now I'm going to go to the next color. And the next color is going to be fruit punch. And I'm just going to go all the way around like this, all the way around, and bring the fruit punch out. And I'm going to start it where I went light. And you're going to start with hard pressure. And then as you come out, you're going to let up on the pressure. It's so hard for me to do this flower at this angle, but I'm trying to do it where you guys can see me doing it. And so right here, I'm going to stop like a little bit right here, just so I can introduce another color. So see how I went hard pressure, then let up on the pressure, and I'm just going to do another layer of that again, just so it's dark. And just so you guys can see me darken it up some. And now I'm going to introduce the next color. And my next color is going to be another pink. And it's a lighter pink. It's peony pink. And now where I ended the last color, I'm going to go hard pressure until I go out some. And once I go out, I'm going to let up on the pressure and go soft pressure. And we're just going to go all the way around again. But we're not going to go all the way to the edge. We're just going to kind of let up right there. And we're not going to go all the way to the edge. See how we left some of the edge open? That's how you want to do it. And now I'm going to go light pressure around that part where I did the pink so that I can add the next color. Because you always want to introduce the next color where you let up the pressure. And so I'm just going to do a second layer and just make sure it's dark. And now I'm going to add this is our fourth color. And this color is going to go further down, but we're still going to leave some open space over here, and we're going to leave a little open space over here. So be careful when you do it. You want to leave some open space. You want to go hard pressure. And this is easier just to go up and down. So because the flower kind of goes, you see those lines? I'm just trying to follow those lines basically. And I'm carrying this pink down further into the edge and then about right there. And so I want to leave this tip right here open a little bit. So I'm going to do that again and darken it up because I see you can't really see that color from on the camera. So I'm just going to try to darken it up a little bit and add another layer. And you can bring this light pink up into the other colors. Not into the dark one, but just into the other two layers. And now we have a light pink layer and we still have this part open. And so what I'm going to do is turn my book a little bit upside down so that I can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to turn it upside down. And I'm going to add my second color. Now, the reason why I'm adding a cream first is because I want around the edge to be a dark blue. But I can't just introduce that dark blue to this really light color. So I need to put a lighter color, which is going to be cream, lighter than pink, so that it won't, blue and pink will turn into a funny color like purple. So I don't want the blue to turn to purple. I want it to stay blue. So in order to get it to stay blue, I have to introduce a cream first. So I'm just going to go around the edge of the cream and just the pink, and just introduce a little bit of cream. Not much cream, but a little bit of cream. Right up into the edge of the pink. And now I can introduce my blue. And the blue that I've picked is going to be Periwinkle Blue A502. And you're just going to start at the bottom and work your blue. Oops, broke my lead. Sometimes when your pencil's too sharp, your lead will break. But I need to start that blue and work that blue right up until that pink. So let's add that blue right along the edge, basically. And we're just going up into the cream. You're going to go right up into the cream. You're going to stop where the pink is. And you're going to go hard pressure around it because you want it to be dark. And light pressure as you go out into the other pink. The other cream, I mean. So I see a spot that I missed way over in the corner. And I'm just going to add some dark to that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of more blue over there. And now we're going to do this part and this part here. So now that we have the color on the blue part, I'm gonna turn it around and we're gonna do these two parts. And this part was the hardest part to do, which I just showed you an easier way to do it. So it's not that hard. So I'm just gonna turn the book around. And I'm getting a glare from the sun, looks like. So I'm going to use my colorless blender and blend it all together. So when you blend this, you want to go from light to dark, but I don't want the blue to get into the yellow, the cream color that much. So I'm going to start right here and blend up, and then I'm going to blend the blue part. And you just want to blend everything together. It kind of burnishes it and gives it a shine. And so if you want to go back and look at any of the other videos the other video that I did with how to color a flower, the first video I did in this series, I'll link that video to the right top corner of this video for you guys. Okay, so now it's blended. And so I'm basically going to do the same thing here that I've done here to here and here. And I'm going to start out with the burgundy A412, and I'm using my Arteza pencils. And I may tilt the page just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. And you're going to start out with hard pressure right at the beginning, and then you're going to let up on the pressure as you go out. And now I'm going to let up on the pressure some. And I'm just going to give it another layer at the top. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm going to turn my book a little bit. And the reason why I switched to the other side is because I want the other side to kind of look like that side over there. And in order to do that, I want to do them at the same time to kind of get the same look on each petal or each leaf. And so I'm going to add another layer just to darken it up some. And now I'm going to go to the next color, and my next color is going to be Fruit Punch A405. And I'm going to leave off right where I let up the pressure right here. Where's the pressure let it up right there. And I'm going to go in with hard pressure with the next color. And then I'm going to let up on the pressure as I go outward. And I'm just going to add another layer and darken it up just a little bit. And so I'm going to do the other side the same way. Start right there where I let up on the pressure and go in with hard pressure. And then let up on the pressure as you go out. So I'm going to do another layer and darken it up. And so now I'm going to add my next color. And my next color is going to be Pink Macaroon A400. And I'm just going to do the same steps. It's added where I let up on the pressure right there, where you see that little light line and that light line over here. And you're going to go in with hard pressure at first, and then you're going to let up as soon as you go out. And I'm going to lighten it up as I go out. So I'm going to add another layer. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm rotating my pencil so that I don't have to sharpen it. And I'm going in with hard pressure and then soft pressure as I get to the bottom. And so I'm going to add another layer to darken it up. And now I'm going to add my next color. And this is the last color in the pinks. And this is peony pink. And this pink is really light. And we're just getting lighter as we go down. And then we're going to add a cream. And then we're going to add the blue. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. I need to erase that. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to add the cream I meant to this area. So I'm going to add the cream and then I'm going to add the blue. And the reason you add the cream before you add the blue is because the blue is a darker color. So you want to make sure you have a light color before it goes into the pink, because you don't want the pink to mix with the blue. Because if you mix the pink with the blue, it's not going to be blue anymore. It's actually going to turn purple. But if you mix blue with the cream, it doesn't turn purple. It still stays blue, if you get what I'm saying. So that's the reason for adding the cream. Now I'm going to add the blue to the tip of the flower. And I'm going to go up into that cream color. So you kind of want hard pressure at the tip and go straight up into the cream. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Hard pressure at your tip. And as you go out, you're going to lighten it up a little. And so if you make a mistake and go out the line, just erase it, because I went out the line a little bit, so I'll erase it. And now I'm going to blend everything together. And I'm going to start at the top and blend down. And then when I get to the cream, I'm going to blend up. So I'm going to turn my paper again. And I'm going to stop right there at the cream. And then I'm going to blend up with the blue. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Now you see how it looks when it's blended? It's much more seamless looking than when it's not blended. And there's still white specks in this one because it's not blended yet, so it's not pressed into the paper. So I'm going to do the same thing I did to the other side. And then I'm going to blend up from the blue. But only to the cream. And we're just going to do the same process in the middle. So I'm going to start out with the burgundy A412. And I might have to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. There. And so you want to go hard pressure around the edge of the other outer edge around here. You want to go hard pressure, and then as you go out, I'm going to go all the way out to the end of these lines, and I'm going to let up on the pressure as I go out. So I'm just going to add another layer. And I'm going to take my next color, which is the fruit punch. And I'm going to kind of go out down here, not up here, because I want to save some blue for up there. So I'm going to go out kind of down towards the bottom instead of around the edge. And I'm going to let up on the pressure as I go out so I can add the next color. But I'm only going out towards the bottom. I'm not going on the side, on the edges, because I want to save some of the edges for that blue. So you want to save a little part on the side for the blue. And now I'm going to go to the next color, which is my pink macaron A400. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong color. My peony pink A401. And I'm only going to put it towards the bottom. So I'm saving a spot for the blue. And now I'm going to take my cream, and I'm going to put my cream around the edge here to where I want to add the blue, because we need the cream there for the blue to be able to go up into the pink. So I'm going to start here, right on the edge of the pink, and add cream. And then I'm going to add a little bit around the edge, right on the pink. You kind of want to go right on the side of that pink. You still want to leave a little bit of a space, but you want to put the cream there as like a barrier almost. Now, I'm going to add my blue to the tip of my flower, all the way around. And so I'm just going to go hard pressure at the tip and follow the edge around up into the cream, all the way around. And I'm just adding a couple layers there so I can darken it up. And the cream acts as a barrier to keep a little space in between it. And it also gives it a look of like the colors are graduating from color to color. So I'm just going to add another layer to this color here, which was the last two, so we can get a little darker. And then I'm going to darken up this part around here just a little bit more. And I'm just darkening up the layers. That's all I'm doing. And so now I'm going to take my colorless blender and blend it all together. And I'm going to start at the top, right in the middle, and blend all the way around. And then I'm going to clean off my pencil a little bit so that I don't get any of that blue into the other colors. And now I'm going to blend the blue around the edge. There. And so now we have our flower with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors on it. But it's looking really good. So now I'm going to do the leaves. And the leaves, I'm going to use 3 different colors. I'm going to start out with basil green. And I'm going to do basil green like at the bottom of the leaf. So I'm going to go in with hard pressure and then let up on the pressure as I go out. So I'm going to do each leaf that way, hard pressure, and then let up on the pressure as I go out. So I'm not going to even pay attention to those lines. When you see a picture like this and it has lines, the best thing to do is just ignore them. Ignore the lines and go ahead and color like it's just one whole piece. Instead of coloring each line a different color, the easiest way to do it is just color it like it's one whole piece. And so I'm just going over that and making it darker. And now I'm going to go to the next color. And my next color is going to be mint green, A606. And I'm going to start out where I let up on the pressure. Go in with heavy pressure. and let up on the pressure as you go out. And I'm going to do that to each leaf. And because this one is longer, I'm doing heavy pressure a lot longer up until I get to maybe the middle or a little further. And then I'm going to let up on the pressure. I'm just adding another layer to darken it up. And now I'm going to go to the next one and do the same thing. You let up on the pressure as you go out. Now I'm going to go to the next color. And my next color is a lighter color. It's Spring Green A601. And I'm just going to start off where I left off the pressure and go in with heavy pressure and just go all the way up to the top. And you can just go all the way up with heavy pressure. And I'm going to do that to each leaf. And you just want to go all the way to the top. And so this color, the top color, you can blend into the other colors a little bit. So you can go down a little further and blend it into the other colors. That just makes it a little more seamless. It helps the graduation of the colors. And so I have a lot of wax bloom on there, so I'm going to get that off of there. And now I'm going to blend it out with my colorless blender. And I'm going to start at the top and just go all the way to the bottom. Oh, I forgot to do the middle, so I need to do the middle of the stem. And the colorless blender I'm using, I usually always use my Kirandachi blender. So I'm going to add the other colors to the stem part that I forgot. And I'm starting off with my darkest color, which is the basil green. And then I go to my mid-tone color, which is mint green. And then I go to my lightest color, which is the spring green. And I take that all the way to the, almost to the end, but not to the end. Now all we have is the middle of the flower to do. And I think I'm going to do the middle in some gel pen. And so I have my gel pen here, which is a colored gel pen. It has some sparkles in it. And I'm just going to make the middle of that sparkly. And it's a sparkly blue, if you can see it. I might have to go over it a couple times. You might have to go over it a couple times. And now I'm just, see how that sparkles? I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me zoom out a little bit. Maybe you can see it better. So it just sparkles some. It's like a, but you have to like twinkle the page to see it. So now we have our gel pen glitter, and I'm going to add just a little bit more layer on there. So you might have to go over it twice. To get a good sparkle. And so now we're almost done. I'm going to add my white gel pen, and I'm just going to put a couple of dots on the flower. And I'm just putting a little bit of dots around that part, and I'm going to put a couple of dots around the top. And so now we have our flower. And in another video, a later video, I'll do the background to this flower. And I'll do the background to the other flower over here. But that is the end of my tutorial on how to do a quick and easy flower and how to tackle that. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe. Have a colorful day. Bye.
And sit down.